I always imagined my wedding night would be the kind that lived forever in the back of my mind as something magical. A perfect blend of champagne bubbles, soft candlelight, whispered promises, and love that felt like it had no end. I had dreamed of the dress, the first dance, the way my husband would look at me like I was the only woman on earth. I wanted all of it. And until the moment we entered our honeymoon suite, hand in hand, it truly seemed like I had it. People had called our wedding beautiful, magical. My father had cried giving me away, and my mother had told me she'd never seen me glow like that. Even his best man, his college roommate Drew, joked during his speech that if he ever looked at a woman the way Ryan looked at me, he'd fall to one knee on the spot. But they hadn't seen what I saw later that night. They didn't see him sitting on the edge of the bed, head in his hands, trembling like a man unraveling. They didn't hear the broken sob he tried to hide as I stepped out of the bathroom in the ivory silk robe I had chosen just for him. First I thought it was happy tears. Maybe wedding day exhaustion. I had seen grooms cry before. He even teared up during the vows. But this was different. This was pain. Deep, raw, suffocating pain. I knelt beside him and reached out, brushing his arm gently. "Ryan, hey, are you okay?" I asked, my voice low, careful, as if saying it too loudly might shatter him completely. He didn't look at me. He kept staring down, fists clenched, shoulders tight. Then he whispered, "She came." I blinked. "Who?" He finally looked at me, eyes red and glassy, and the next words he spoke changed everything. "Jenna." That name. I'd heard it once before. Briefly. Casually. He had mentioned her during one of our early dates. An ex from years ago. Said it hadn't worked out. No drama, no baggage. Just life pulling them apart. He'd never brought her up again, and I never asked. We had each dated others before. Why dig into the past? But now I wished I had. "What do you mean she came?" I asked. My throat felt dry. He ran a hand through his hair and stood up, pacing like he couldn't sit still. "I didn't know she would be there. I didn't invite her. She showed up during the reception. I saw her across the crowd. She didn't say anything. Just stood there." I wrapped the robe tighter around myself. My heart beat against my ribs like a warning bell. "Did you talk to her?" He hesitated. Just long enough to give me my answer. I couldn't. I wanted to. But I didn't. I sat back on the bed, numb. "Why would that make you cry?" I asked, already fearing the answer. He didn't speak at first. Then he turned to me and said it slowly, painfully, honestly. "Because I never really stopped loving her." That sentence hung in the air like poison gas. I couldn't breathe. My heart cracked, but my voice stayed calm. "Then why did you marry me?" He looked away again. "Because she left. She said she didn't want marriage. Said she wasn't ready. That she needed to grow, figure herself out." I waited, but after 2 years with no contact, I gave up. "You came into my life when I was trying to move forward. And I thought maybe I could forget her with you. That I could make a new future." Tears stung my eyes, but I didn't let them fall. "Not yet. So I was the replacement." "No," he said quickly. "You're amazing. You're everything someone would want. But the heart doesn't work with logic. I didn't plan to love her still. I buried it. And seeing her tonight, seeing her standing there, it broke me. I wanted to scream. But more than that, I wanted to understand. That was my curse. I loved him too much to hate him instantly. I wanted to believe it wasn't all a lie." I asked the question that had been clawing its way to my tongue. "Did she come to stop the wedding?" He nodded once. "She told Drew. She said she had written a letter. Said if I didn't feel it anymore, I should go through with the wedding. But if there was even a piece of me that still did, I should meet her behind the chapel before the ceremony." "Did you go?" I whispered. He stared at me for a long moment. "No," he finally said. "I didn't go. I chose you. I told myself I was over her. That you were the right path. That I'd grow to feel the same way. But I've been lying to myself. And to you. That night I didn't sleep." He curled up on the couch, refusing to touch the bed. And I lay staring at the ceiling, trying to process how the happiest day of my life had turned into the cruelest betrayal I'd ever felt. I wasn't just fighting the ghost of an ex. I was fighting a love that had never died. Over the next few days, our honeymoon was a blur. We barely spoke. He tried. He offered to go to counseling, said he wanted to try, that I deserved effort. But everything felt heavy, forced. Every time he looked at me I saw guilt, not desire. And every time I touched him, he flinched like a man being unfaithful. One morning while he was out grabbing coffee I searched the suite. I wasn't proud of it, but I needed answers. I needed to know the truth about how deep this still went. That's when I found it, in the nightstand drawer. A small folded piece of paper hidden between a hotel notepad and the Bible. It was a letter. In delicate, elegant handwriting. Ryan, if you're reading this, you didn't meet me at the chapel. I respect that. I won't chase you anymore. But I had to come, even if it was just to see you one last time. I just wanted you to know I still love you. And I always will. Jay. I read it 5 times. I memorized it. Her words were so gentle. So final. She hadn't begged. She hadn't fought. She had simply let him go with love. The kind of love I could never compete with. That evening I packed my things. When Ryan returned, I handed him the letter and said, "This should have been your answer." He didn't argue. He just cried again. This time I didn't comfort him. I flew home alone. Filed for annulment within the month. I told my friends and family it hadn't worked out. That we rushed in too fast. That we were incompatible. I spared him. I didn't need to humiliate him. Pain was its own punishment. 6 months later I got a wedding invitation. Ryan and Jenna. Her handwriting. White envelope, gold trim. It was elegant. Tasteful. A part of me shattered again. But I didn't burn it. I didn't curse them. Instead, I bought a golden picture frame and placed her letter inside it. I sent it as a wedding gift, wrapped carefully, with a note tucked behind. He never really let go, but now I have. Emily. That night, for the first time since our wedding, I slept peacefully. Because I realized something important. Some people choose passion over peace. Others choose safety over love. Ryan chose the past even when it almost slipped away forever. I, however, chose myself. And that made all the difference.